The arena was electric, lights blazing, cameras rolling, and the crowd roaring like a storm about to break. Two nations stood behind their warriors tonight. On one side, Wladimir Klitschko, the Ukrainian powerhouse, calm as a glacier, his eyes sharp, his composure unshakable. On the other, Jean-Marc Mormeck, the French bulldog, shorter, stockier, but oozing determination. You can feel the tension cutting through the air like a blade. Klitschko's entrance was almost royal. Methodical steps, his signature cold stare fixed straight ahead. No smiles, no distractions. He looked like a man on a mission to remind the world who ruled the heavyweight division. Mormeck, bouncing on his feet, looked smaller but hungrier. His walkout music roared through the speakers, a soldier marching into a war he couldn't avoid. The bell hadn't even rung, yet everyone knew this wasn't just a fight. It was an examination of power versus courage. Mormeck, a former cruiserweight champion, was stepping into the ring with a giant, literally and figuratively. But his eyes said it all. "I'm not afraid." Commentators whispered in awe. Can Mormeck handle the reach, the power, the pressure? The audience held their breath as the referee brought them face to face. Klitschko towered over him, expression unreadable, while Mormeck clenched his jaw, defiant. And as the referee's hand dropped, the world went silent for one moment. This wasn't just another fight night. This was David versus Goliath reborn. Only one question mattered. How long could David survive? He measured his man, firing a right hand that whistled past Mormeck's ear. The crowd erupted. The ring was now a chessboard drenched in sweat and danger. Commentators buzzed. Mormeck needs to close the gap. He can't fight from out here. But how do you close distance on a man who fights with surgical precision? Every second, the tension thickened. The Ukrainian giant didn't waste energy. He waited for perfection. Mormeck's courage was undeniable. He kept charging, slipping, blocking, trying to make Klitschko uncomfortable. Yet each failed attempt chipped away at his confidence. His breathing grew heavier. Klitschko's expression didn't change. He was silent, patient, like a storm building on the horizon. The bell ended the round. The crowd rose in appreciation. No knockdowns yet, but something dark was brewing in that ring. The calm was ending. The violence was coming. The second round began, and you could feel the shift. The crowd's cheers turned into nervous murmurs. Klitschko wasn't rushing. He didn't need to. His eyes followed Mormeck's every twitch, every breath. It was like watching a lion corner a wounded animal. Slow, methodical, inevitable. Mormeck came out swinging, trying to steal momentum. He darted forward with double jabs, a looping hook behind them. Thud. The gloves connected, barely moving the Ukrainian. Klitschko didn't flinch. Instead, he smiled. A cold, knowing smirk. The kind of smile that chills you from the inside out. Then came the rhythm. Jab, jab, right hand, like clockwork. Klitschko's punches didn't just land. They echoed through the stadium like thunder. Each jab snapped Mormeck's head back, forcing him to retreat, forcing him into a nightmare he couldn't wake from. The ring grew smaller with every step. Klitschko cut the distance, pinned him near the ropes. The trap was closing. Commentators shouted, "He's measuring him. Klitschko's setting something up." And he was. Every jab was a warning, every feint a whisper, "It's coming." Mormeck's face showed determination, but also pain. He tried to rally, threw a wild right hand that missed by a mile, and Klitschko made him pay. A snapping jab to the nose, a crushing straight to the ribs. The sound of leather against flesh was brutal. The audience gasped, half in awe, half in fear. For the first time, Mormeck's knees wobbled. He clinched, desperate for a breather, but Klitschko's strength was suffocating. He pushed him off like nothing. Every second felt heavier, more dangerous. Mormeck's defense started to crumble. His breath grew ragged, his movements slower. The Ukrainian wasn't fighting. He was engineering destruction. Round after round, jab after jab, he was breaking Mormeck down, piece by piece. The The trap was nearly complete, and as the bell rang again, Klitschko turned to his corner, calm, compo. When the next round began, there was no more doubt. Klitschko had shifted gears. Gone was the cautious rhythm of the opening rounds. His footwork became sharper, his punches more venomous. He moved like a machine built for precision violence. Mormeck, brave to his core, kept his chin tucked and his hands high, but his body told another story: exhaustion, bruises, and desperation. Every jab now felt like a hammer. Klitschko's timing was flawless. Jab, pivot, straight right. Each punch snapped Mormeck's head back, his guard slipping inch by inch. The French warrior tried to fight fire with fire, throwing a looping hook, but Klitschko countered instantly with a brutal 1-2 that sent shockwaves through the arena. The sound echoed like a gunshot. The crowd roared. Commentators screamed, "He's hurt, Mormeck's in trouble." But Klitschko didn't rush. He was too smart for that. He stalked, cornered, punished. Every move calculated. Every punch meant to destroy confidence before it destroyed flesh. Mormeck stumbled backward, his legs shaky, the rope saving him from a fall. Still, he lifted his gloves, trying to prove he wasn't done. His heart was bigger than his body, but Klitschko's power was beyond human that night. A thunderous jab to the face, a right to the ribs, a left hook upstairs. Mormeck's defense shattered like glass. The bell saved him again. The crowd stood in awe. Mormeck walked back to his corner, eyes glazed, chest heaving. His trainer shouted, "Keep your hands up, don't trade." But deep down, everyone in that arena knew the end was coming. The next round wouldn't be about survival. It would be about how long he could stand before the storm swallowed him whole. The final act began. The lights seemed brighter, the air thicker. Every heartbeat in the arena synchronized with the sound of gloves snapping in the center of the ring. Klitschko stood in his corner like a statue carved from ice. Across from him, Mormeck rose slowly, his face swollen, but his spirit still flickering. The bell rang, and Klitschko moved in instantly. No hesitation, no mercy. He jabbed, once, twice. Then came the right hand, a cannon that exploded against Mormeck's jaw. The sound was chilling. Mormeck's body stiffened, then dropped like a tower collapsing in slow motion. The crowd gasped. Time itself froze. The referee rushed in, but everyone already knew. The fight was over. Klitschko stood motionless, his gloves still raised, expression unreadable. He didn't celebrate wildly. He didn't need to. His dominance spoke louder than any scream. The camera zoomed in. Mormeck's team gathered around him, fanning his face, whispering encouragement. Slowly, he sat up. The crowd, once roaring, now rose in respect. This was boxing at its purest, the art of courage meeting the science of destruction. Klitschko walked to the center, bowed his head slightly toward Mormeck, a gesture of respect from champion to warrior. The announcer's voice echoed, "Winner by knockout, Wladimir Klitschko." The arena erupted. Ukraine celebrated. The heavyweight throne remained untouched, and somewhere in the shadows, another contender watched, realizing what Mormeck had just faced. Not just a fighter, but a force of nature. As the lights dimmed and the crowd faded into the night, one truth remained carved in history. When Klitschko steps into the ring, no one is safe.